when you have when does the overlap happen? And then when are people put at risk for their jobs because of their freedom of speech in their private life versus their job responsibilities or the reflection of what they say on the brand of where they work? You know, so that, to me, that's the interesting part of this discussion you're bringing up.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I appreciate you playing along. Yes, you were a little bit in the hot seat, and it wasn't intentional, but there was a lot of good fodder. I couldn't stop myself. Steve, good morning. Welcome. So happy.
Hi, hey, good to see you. Look, I would say with regard to this whole conversation about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and his views, the idea that this is a moral question, I think, is absurd. I mean, this is like having a moral discussion about putting your elbows on the table during dinner or spitting in public. I mean, these are not things that have an ethical component to them. There is no ethical component. This is just a question of individuals' mores and taste and, you know, appetite for conflict. This has nothing to do with morality. Some people don't feel comfortable talking about Charlie Kirk's repugnant views at this moment because he was just assassinated, and that's completely understandable. Other people feel it's very important to talk about them, and that's understandable. The idea that there's a right or wrong answer on some ethical dimension is ridiculous.
How about the firings? Like in this particular case, would you frame it the way kind of David and others framed it with? It's just he said something off-brand. So
firings bring us into a legal dimension, right? Which again is not ethical either. Right? I mean, when you're in an employment relationship, now you're talking about a legal relationship. Employees have certain protections in certain states, not in others. They may have constitutional protections if they're public employees. And those are the considerations everyone was talking about. No one was talking about the ethical consideration, right? Put aside this situation, just any situation in which an employer has the legal right to fire an employee. Does that answer the question about whether it's the right thing to do? Well, of course not. The two are loosely related, but they're just different questions. So if you're asking the question, do they have the legal right to fire someone? Well, whatever, we can do the legal analysis. Is that really very interesting? If you're asking the question, is it the right thing to do? Well, that's a more complicated
That was the complicated question I was leaning into. Maybe not the right versus wrong, but more the question of, you know, just kind of, I wanted to simmer in that a little bit and talk about that a little bit. And in particular, just really quick, because something in the article that I read was really quick. The irony of this termination and slew of similar firings over the past 24 hours is that Kirk and Turning Point USA, the conservative youth group he co-founded, branded themselves as the ultimate defenders of free speech in a June debate at Oxford Union during a tour of the UK, in which he condemned the country for its totalitarian censorship of its citizens. He argued you should just be allowed to say outrageous things. Last year, Kirk posted that hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment to keep America free. So it was kind of like the firings and the take that Rolling Stone was taking on it. I thought, oh, that'd be kind of interesting dialogue. I mean, you know, aside from sort of the obvious conversations people are having right now.
What do you think that kind of I mean, look, my honest reaction to that is that it's a clever angle, but it's really irrelevant, right? If you really think about it, whether the gentleman at MSNBC was fired for saying something in connection with Charlie Kirk, who had some opinions about the First Amendment, or somebody else who never said a word about the First Amendment.
They just gave Donald Trump's campaign
really wouldn't make any difference, right? That there's a certain irony there, or poetic parallel, but it's irrelevant, right? It's whether he should have been fired has nothing to do with whether Charlie Kirk cared about the First Amendment. So it's really just to me, it's just a soundbite. It's just an angle for an article. It has nothing to do with the potentially serious question about whether MSNBC did the right thing by firing this guy. I just don't think it's just drawing a parallel because it makes good reading, not because it informs the answer to the question. It doesn't. It's irrelevant.
Thank you for that.
And the scale is a bunch of these teachers are put on because they have contracts. Teachers have contracts. They can't fire them. They put them on suspension and things like that. So I'm not saying that Rolling Stone needs to sell magazines or anything, but losing is doing a lot of work as a verb in that headline.
That's fair. And, this wouldn't be Let's Walk Together if I didn't say this is Let's Walk Together. We talk about this or anything you want at any time. If you're up here, it's just honor system, be kind, be maybe a little gentle. So today I've been lacking in, I think, a little genteelness. Keep it classy, borderline classy today.
And then, question: did anybody see any surveillance videos or photos? Anything looking like a long rifle that would be like not breaking down, like a Ruger, or whatever kind of weapon that was. It's like 47 inches long. You can't put that in your pants. And
what about that limp they were saying he was walking?
You can't. He jumped off the roof. What limp?
Before he jumped on the roof, when he was walking to the event, before the event happened, I saw a video where he's limp.
Put it in the chat. I haven't seen it. No description. 40. I mean, it should go up to beyond your waist. It wouldn't hinge at the knee. So let's see, maybe. But just details to follow, but questions to ask.
I mean, what are the craziest conspiracies about this that you've heard? Because I've heard some real dude.
Oh, I don't want to spread those. That's not what.
Okay. Let's not.
Social media. I mean, you already put your top link is a Rolling Stone article, for fuck's sake.
You're right. I'm like, this is really lowest common denominator. Okay, so we're gonna take that down now.
Your pop culture as a source.
That's fair. I take that critique. I also take the critique that I was being a bit inflammatory earlier as well. It's fair. I think it's all fair. I mean, it's not the general character of the room or the intent here. I just, I couldn't help. So here's what's happening. We are at a little bit of a lull, and Benjamin wants back up. Does anyone want to have a dialogue with Benjamin one-on-one right now? On stage. Because I don't want to do the thing where we slip into the Benjamin show right now. So unless someone has a direct conversation they want to have with him, Benjamin, just come back on Monday. Hang out. Okay, let's try. Here we go. I'm going to try it against my better judgment. Let's see how it goes. Benjamin, welcome. What would you like to say? John Cougar Malincrot.
Well, I'm not going to let Benjamin just be up here and, without somebody to correct.
Thank you. So John and Romero v. Benjamin.
I'm here. Yeah, John, you missed Sam. There is a replay. Sam was doing a good job, and I tried. But Benjamin said something I said was somewhat off the short bus or something. I can't remember what the compliment was.
Well, it sounded like there'd been an incident. I just got it.
It started good, though. I mean, it started.
Let's try. Let's talk about quantum healing.
If Benjamin's on stage. If Benjamin's on stage, there's an incident.
Okay, so let's do this. John, you're up first. Romero, you're up next. And let's try to keep the conversation classy. Let's not do what I did with the interrogation. Let's just try to have a chat.
All right, I won't talk if you want it to be.
No, Sam, only Sam. Sam and Steve, the attorneys, the licensed, attorneys in the room, they can interrogate.
Well, I don't really have anything really to add. I've finished preparing my bite. My bite of physics that starts in half an hour. So I thought I would test out my club deck connection with you guys and hang out for a little while.
Did you say 9:30, John? Pacific
At
Time?
9:30, yep.
Perfect. And we're going to definitely close down before.
Yeah, that's right. At the bottom of the hour, I think they say.
I'm just here to align my chakras and do some
Hey, BB, good Shabbos, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kedeshanu, b'mitzvotav tzivanu, l'chadlik neshel Shabbat b'nei pri hagafen.
your favorite chewing gum from your childhood is going to make a comeback, and the dead still don't rise from the grave, but they will on Tuesday, February 5th, 2045.
Did any of you see that Peter Thiel is going to be doing a 4-day lecture in the Bay Area on the Antichrist?
Did you see the interview this Christian podcaster interview? Do you want the human race to
לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות אל נא תשת עלינו חטאת חטאנו צורנו